Hi everyone, welcome to this training on how to get more done in the next 24 hours than most entrepreneurs do in 24 days. A quick introduction about me. I'm Purva and I work as a high performance coach. I run a business dedicated to helping business owners create a high performing lifestyle that helps them reclaim 20 hours of their week so that they can stop being stressed and start focusing on scaling their businesses profitably. With that being said, let's quickly get into the overview of this training. Even though hustle isn't too bad because you're doing something you love, you run your business, I'm pretty sure that you did not decide to run your business to work more than you did in your previous career or previous job. When it comes to getting more done in your business with less stress, less time, and less resources, it's all about being effective and not just active or busy. Busyness is not a badge of honor, and being busy only leads to more stress, burnout, reduced effectiveness, and lack of true fulfillment. But what if I told you that in the next 24 hours you could achieve more meaningful progress than most entrepreneurs make in 24 days? I'll discuss the exact strategies that will help you get more done in less time. And this is not about hustling harder or working for longer hours, it's all about working smarter. Who is this training for? If you are an entrepreneur, a business owner, or founder who is currently feeling frustrated all the time because your energy is spent working in the business rather on it, you're lacking quality time with your spouse and your family, your kids, and you have very little opportunity to engage in the pursuits that bring more joy and balance to your life. You're attempting to do too much and end up making very little progress on the tasks that move the needle forward in your business. You're losing several hours of your day to stress and inconsistency, distractions. You feel like you're never getting enough done. You're committed and driven but struggling to master time. So, if you are relating to any of these pointers, then I highly recommend you to stay till with me till the end of this training. And I'm pretty sure that it will help you de escalate a lot of your stress and get things done more efficiently. What you will learn in this an impact resistance prioritization framework that will help you get way more done in your business while requiring lot less time, stress, so that you can close your laptop without feeling guilty. I also cover why, despite doing everything right, like buying courses, attending productivity workshops, writing a to do list, still your old unproductive habits like inconsistency, procrastination return. Why do changes and new habits do not last long? What you need to do to fix it. I'll also share how a personalized productivity system has helped me to get back 35 hours of my week. I'll cover what are the three key resources needed to achieve optimal performance daily. What are the two key conditions of achieving optimal productivity every day? And my strategy for making daily productivity sustainable so that you can show up consistently without overwhelming yourself or burning out. And then I discuss the key habit you must master to protect the sanity of your mind while you're getting things done and giving your best every day. So, coming to the resources needed for optimal performance, uh, please understand that to get the most out of your 24-hour day, you need to understand the concept of resource management. Resource management is about understanding what is available to you and how to leverage that effectively to meet your goals. And you have finite resources every day to make the most out of your day. That is attention, energy, and time. And attention is the most scarce out of three. And please remember this equation that time flows where energy flows where attention is. So, attention is what you need to have. Attention is something that you need to protect a lot. You have 24 hours in a day. You stay energetic max for 5 to 6 hours, and you can stay attentive for max 3 to 4 hours. And these are very generous numbers considering that you take care of yourself and you eat healthy food and you exercise regularly and you rest well. And if you don't, there is huge chance that you are engaging in poor quality of work, which translates to more busy and less productive work, because productivity is not about quantity, it's more and more about quality. All right, now let's discuss the two key conditions that you need to achieve optimal productivity. You produce qualitative productive work only and only when you meet the below two conditions. You use resources optimally and you recharge the resources optimally. It's important that you efficiently utilize your resources, but it is equally important that you recharge them, because as I told you before, you have finite resources and they get depleted over the end of the day. And so that your tomorrow's productivity doesn't suffer, so that you can show up consistently the next days, you need to make sure that you recharge your resources optimally. Now, based on how you meet the two conditions, you can fall into either of the four productivity states. State one is the one which is ideal, where you meet both the conditions. State two and three are where you meet either of the conditions. It is not ideal, but yeah, you can always work your way up. And state four is undesirable, and where you do not meet either of the conditions, and that results into a lot of low output and poor quality work. All right. Now that we have discussed the two key conditions to meet optimal productivity, now you might say that how do I actually execute it? What do I need to do to meet those two conditions? So we'll cover that one by one. First, coming to condition number one is using your attention, energy, time, resources optimally. So you have a two-step process that I follow. The two-step process that I follow to optimally use my resources. Step one is I invest all my resources on where it matters the most. And how do I decide what are the tasks that matters the most? I use impact resistance framework, and it's a productivity model that helps me prioritize tasks by evaluating two dimensions. That is the impact and the resistance. Resistance is the level of mental, emotional, physical effort it takes to start the task, and impact is the value of the task outcome. So this is basically the four quadrants, and I'll explain them one by one. First, coming to quadrant number one, Q1, that is high impact, high resistance quadrant. So in this quadrant, you will have the tasks that are difficult to do or start, but they yield significant results. These are your needle moving tasks. These are your big wins and should be tackled when you are at your peak energy, like preparing a major presentation or a business pitch, resolving complex issue or conflicts, learning a critical new skill for your business, and sending that client proposal. All of them have high resistance because inherent in them is the fear of rejection, fear of uncertainty, fear of overwhelm. So that makes it a bit difficult to start, but these are very important to tackle because they move the needle forward in your business. So these are the Q1 tasks. Now coming to Q2, Q2 is the high impact, low resistance quadrant. These are the tasks that are easy to start and very beneficial. They are your quick wins to sustain progress and provide momentum in your work, like sending follow ups to important contacts, writing daily progress reports and recharging your resources. That is also an high impact activity. Organizing your workspace for better productivity. So these are Q2 activities. And if you have to follow a flow, then you must first meet on Q1. You must first complete Q1 activities and then you can move to Q2. Now, when you talk about Q3 and Q4, these are not very relevant, or the activities, these do not add too much of impact to your work. So Q3 is about low impact, high resistance tasks, the tasks that require effort but add very little value, like responding to low priority emails, over researching or fixating too much on perfection for minor details. And Q4 is low impact, low resistance tasks that are easy but provide negligible results. So all your distractions are going to come here, like checking off trivial to-dos, tidying up files with no real urgency, repetitive admin tasks. Now, one important note is that when you're tackling Q1 activities, they are also the activities that can cause you very high stress due to obvious high mental and emotional resistance, and it will consume the most of your resources. But they are also very relevant. So they should be tackled even if it causes you stress. But because they are the needle, they move the needle forward in your business. But it's also important that when you face that stress after tackling such high resistance tasks, you need to recover optimally. That's where we talk about recharging your resources, which I'll cover in a bit. So yeah, you must put all your resources in meeting Q1 and Q2 and eliminate the bottom two quadrants or forget them for now. Now, the step two in efficiently utilizing your resources, we talk about optimizing how you execute the task to save your resources. It is by one strategy is by having system and processes set in place. So when you don't document your work or build systems to streamline your repetitive tasks, it is going to eat so much of your brain power. And as I told, we have limited attention and energy that could be otherwise be used for more critical Q1 tasks like sales outreach or strategic planning. Hence, it is very important that you create some sort of systems and process, or it's important that to have some systems and process set in place so that you can focus on more important work. An example of system can be that if you frequently respond to emails, create a template for them. And a process example would be if you're tracking project progress, set up a system like simple spreadsheet. You do not have to use fancy tools. Simple spreadsheet or Google Sheet can help you so that you can update it regularly instead of figuring out where you left off each time. Now, here is a quick tip. I have found that a lot of people initially when you're setting up a system or a process, it is going to consume a lot of your time, a lot of your resources, okay? And it might look that this is such an unproductive thing, but please know that it is not an unproductive thing. It consumes a lot of resources early on, but they will pay you forward in the future. So please do not consider it as an unproductive activity and think that, oh, I should not invest time here. Please invest your time here. So without system, you might still finish the task, but you will be mentally exhausted because of the extra thinking, extra recalling, extra reinventing the wheel that you have done, and that will lead to exhaustion, which leads to burnout by midday and making it very hard to sustain productivity. So that is it about meeting condition one. If you come to condition two, that is recharging your resources optimally. Now, this is going to be unique for everyone because the way you recover from stress, the way you recharge is very unique for all. But I'm going to cover some basic foundations like drinking 3 liters of water every day, getting 9 hours of sleep, eating a home cooked meal, devoting at least 1 hour of your day to doing something you enjoy. For me, it's cooking and reading. For you, it can be unique. And you may say that, okay, I know these things, Purva. Yes, you know it, but you still ignore it, thinking that this is so simple, so it must be useless. No, it's not. And focus on getting the boring basics right. Not everything has to be novel in life. In fact, 90% of productivity problems exist because folks fail to follow the boring basics. Okay, now with that being said, let me get to the next section of the training where I share the key to showing up daily. The key to showing up daily is all about having sustainable systems. To have sustainable productivity, it stands on the foundation of discerning between wants and needs. So, discerning between wants and your needs will allow you to focus and determine the perfect amount of time needed to do something so that you can create the best quality of your work while not spending a minute more than you need to on it. So, prioritize your resources on focusing on meeting needs, and that's a crucial key to showing up daily and avoiding burnout. For example, instead of overexhausting yourself by forcing yourself to train for 2 hours every day to match a fitness influences routine, focus on what works for you, like exercising 30 minutes daily to stay active and healthy. Instead of spending hours to making the slides visually perfect with fancy animations, focus on creating clear slides that communicate your ideas effectively. The more simpler it is, the more better. And this is going to save you time and deliver your message more clearly. So these are some examples of wants versus needs. Okay. Now, another important aspect of showing up consistently, it also involves how you take care of yourself emotionally and mentally. Taking care of your mental health is also important to show up consistently. So you must strive to protect your sanity of your mind every time. And to do that, I follow these two steps or two strategies. That is, number one, I devote at least an hour to doing nothing. This is something I recommend my clients as well because this has worked very well for me, and I do it every day myself. Give yourself the chance to your brain to just relax and get off your phone. You should not let the phone or laptop to control you. So you need to practice stopping to interact with these devices, and doing nothing helps you achieve exactly that. Number two is very important and my favorite, that you need to start focusing on what you can control. When you start focusing on what you can't control, that is the beginning of insanity. So if you have to stay sane, you should focus on what you can control. Direct your energy towards the aspects of life that you have influence over. And how you can do that is by staying mindful of the controllables. Some examples that I have collected, that what you can't control. You can't control what other people think, feel, or believe, but you can control how you engage with different opinions, feelings, and beliefs. You can't control the things that have already happened, but you can control what you do in the present. You can't control everything that's gonna happen, but you can control how you strengthen yourself to handle the unknown. You can't control the outcome of anything you do, but you can control the efforts. And this is how you protect the sanity of your mind while you are getting things done and giving your best every single day. Now, coming to the next section of my training, where I discuss why changes do not last long. So, if you feel like you have already tried every trick and tip available to improve your productivity, you have been to productivity masterminds, you tried all the apps, planners, systems, but the changes do not last long. Your old habits return, and aren't getting the results that you want. You could scream if even one more person tells you the secret is to wake up at 4 a.m. or simply eat the frog. But you know that something's gotta change, or else you are on a one-way road to burnout, hating your business and life, feeling guilty for all the time you're taking away from your loved ones, and yet, despite all that, still not have the business that you want. If that is the case, then I just have got the thing for you. And today I'm going to share how. And I'll share it in a bit. But before that, let's tackle the elephant in the room. Why do changes not last and old habits return? The answer is simple, generic, and unrealistic productivity hacks like trying to wake up at 5 a.m., eating the frog, using a detailed to do list, avoid social media, taking cold showers, setting a 10-year plan, practicing a 1 minute rule or X minute rule, all of them. They might work till certain extent, but they all have limits. They are not efficient because it's not tailored to your situation, specifically for your personality. Anything forced externally has limits, and you can't stick long to it. Hence, it's very important that you create the systems and routines that work specifically for you. A productivity model that helps you move forward at a pace that feels natural, sustainable, and fulfilling, so that you do not give up in between. This is something that we all should strive for, because it's not about doing more, it's about doing the right things in a way that work for you. So not just for better productivity, but for a lot less stressful and a more meaningful life. So I'll discuss more on how you can create a personalized system and how I did it in a bit. I'll now discuss how I created a personalized system for myself, and how using that I got back 35 hours of my week back. How I got 35 hours of my week back. All right, to be honest, I was always called lazy and indisciplined by my parents and my relatives. I never wake up early in the morning. I sleep till afternoon. I stay up late at night. I never put things in their respective places. My room is and all was and is always a mess. Okay. And my habits were never so good as per the society, and because of that, I was doomed to be a failure. But despite all of that, I managed to achieve some accomplishments. Like I got a 10 CGPA in class 10th. I passed my class 12th in distinction. With distinction, I got into a very premier engineering college in Pune. I got a decent CGPA in college without attending the college in 4 years. I had been a critical defaulter, but it's not that I wasted my time. I focused on participating in activities that boosted my self confidence and communication skills. And because of that, I got a high paying job on my very first attempt at campus placements. And then I quit my 9 to 5 at 23 and built a thriving coaching business. And to be very frank and upfront, uh, I was not a born intelligent girl. Okay, I'm still not a very organized person. People expect that as a high performance coach, I must be super organized. Wrong. My achievements were all result of me embracing my personality patterns and moods, and making them work for me instead of following what society sees acceptable. Like I have been a night owl, right? And I study late at night. It works for me. I'm very creative, and my creativity thrives in messy environments. I can't follow schedule, so I tend to finish things according to their urgency and impact. So these were my styles of getting the things done in my way, very much different from what society makes you believe that this is what productivity is, like waking up at 5 a.m. and following a certain calendar routine. But yeah, but here is the catch. There was a problem with this. Despite achieving this personal milestone, it left me feeling unfulfilled and stuck in a cycle of reactive productivity. For the first 18 to 20 years of my life, deadlines were my sole motivator, pushing me to finish the task last minute. So the accomplishments that I just shared, um, a lot of them work I was able to do because I did it in my way. But one more factor that helped me achieve that goal was that deadlines. As soon as I would see a deadline, I would get so motivated and then I would get the task done. But I eventually realized that relying on last minute pressure wasn't a very sustainable way to grow. Although embracing my moods and work styles helped me achieve things I'm really proud of, but after a point of time, I realized that if I wanted to achieve bigger and better targets, I also need to work on my weaknesses to accomplish more and go beyond the limitation of last minute productivity, that is burnout, which resulted in burnout and exhaustion. I knew I needed a better way to stay consistent, improve my performance, and push my growth further. So, talking about my turning point, around 2018, I started studying MBTI personality framework, and that gave me a deeper insight into my natural work rhythms. It gave me the solution for my counterproductive habits like daydreaming, overthinking, indecisiveness, poor attention to detail. I finally understood why I struggled to stay motivated with rigid schedules and long to-do lists because they did not align with my need, with my creative flow or need for purpose as an INFP personality type. With these insights, I designed a personalized productivity system that aligned with my personal working style. Along with this, I kept working on my weaknesses, specific counterproductive patterns like daydreaming and overthinking. I worked on my weaknesses, and that helped me improve my performance and work ethic. A personalized system helped me reclaim 5 to 8 hours of my time daily that was lost to inconsistency, procrastination, and distractions and other busy work. So my transformation, so before using a personalized system, I constantly wished I had more time to get everything done. Weeks would pass by without making enough progress. I would keep procrastinating on things that felt boring and less interesting but moved the needle forward in business. I was so overwhelmed by my detailed to-do list. I felt so paralyzed by everything I had to do that I didn't know even where to start. I constantly doubted myself if I would ever hit the goals I said. Then anxiety crippled me. I was constantly trying to find more time by depriving myself of sleep, time with my family. I was beating myself up constantly for not being efficient, and yet I would never get started on the work that needs to get done. I was forcing myself to be disciplined by creating detailed schedules where I planned minute by minute what I would do only to abandon the idea altogether. A few transformations that I achieved after using a personalized productivity model. I showed up more consistently to work day after day, unlike earlier, where I would wait for a deadline to approach so that I start working. I no longer felt the dread that I used to feel earlier when I would approach the task that I hated. I could not wait to start my work. I would in fact show up before time. I could follow through on my task till the very end without getting distracted. I could get quality work done no matter what obstacle come my way. And I could consistently hit daily personal and business goals despite encountering personal emergencies, mood shifts, and other unexpected surprises throughout the day. So, alas, if you would like to know how I can help you reclaim 20 hours of your week in the next 90 days by crafting a personalized productivity system for you so that you can stop being stressed and start focusing on scaling your businesses, then I would love to connect with you on my LinkedIn profile. You can check out my LinkedIn profile. You can just type Purva Hulke and then send me a connection request, DM me the word system, and then let's chat more. So, with that being said, I would really like to thank you for watching this training. I hope that I was able to add value with this training. You got some strategies to work more efficiently and de-escalate some of your. Thank you so much for watching this training, and see you again.